although nobody's here, and nobody has been here before. It's just me. But I imagine that in the future, maybe somebody will watch this. Maybe 100 years after I'm dead, or 2,000 years after I'm dead. Who knows, right? It can happen. I hope it does. And yeah, so today let's talk about friends and enemies. All right. It's been today is what July 21 something, and I took the Alaska bar exam at the end of last February, and beginning of March this year, yeah, I started doing the politics. Okay, and because after bar exam, I didn't have anything else to do. I used to study for the bar exam as my in my spare time, but now the bar exam is over, and it was the second time I took the bar exam. The first time was last year, July. Uh, I missed by 1 point. So after the July bar exam, I had this feeling that I may not have passed. So I started studying right away, right after the July bar exam, the next day. Okay. So then this time I felt better. I mean, February bar exam. Okay. So I didn't feel the need to restart the bar study. So I started going to political meetings, local political meetings, like city level, county level. Okay. And what's that? It's been what, 5 months, less than 5 months, and I have made many political enemies and friends, and which means, which is a good sign. It means I'm getting some influence. I'm getting some political influence, and I have gained some political influence. I've made a lot of state level, not national level. State level, yeah, I know many politicians. Okay, I'm fairly well known in Alaska political circle, and it's been only 5 months. Okay, so in a way, I have gained this political influence that to other people it may take like decades. Okay, I achieved that in 5 months. That's why I'm thinking maybe I have a shot at presidency in 2.5 years from now. So yeah, it may happen. I may become the president in 2021. Okay, that's a possibility. Because today is July 21, 2018, and it's like 2 years and a half. It can happen because in Alaska, it has happened very fast for me. Okay, and so I've been going to political meetings, writing like letters to editors to newspapers, and I've been calling local radio talk shows, which is statewide, I think. And yeah, things are going very well for me. So let's take a humanological definition of what friends and enemies are. How do we mathematically define? By the way, this is humanological hierarchy, universal hierarchy. God and the concept is ideologies, ism, which means which includes politics and religion. Okay, or any behavioral trend, behavioral habit. Then human, animal, plant, object. So down below it can be seen as earth, physical. Over here, heaven, metaphysical. So heaven and earth, those that dualism, heaven and earth, we see that in Bible and also many scripts, like classical scripts of any religion or any tradition, any culture, like in China. Uh, China, Korea, Japan, okay. And all right, Tian, I think in Chinese, Tian Chi, something like that. But in Korean, it is this Chun Ji, heaven and earth. Okay. Uh, yeah. So in Chinese tradition, the like old scripts like classical script, uh, like scripts like by Confucius or Lao Tzu, yeah, they talk about this dualism, heaven and earth, and also in Bible you see heaven and earth. Okay, in humanology we take that so humanology we have huge is founded upon these classical things like Bible or Confucius or Buddhism or Islam. Okay, so because human knowledge half of it is religion. Okay, half of it is science. So. Uh, Have you heard the term, the theory of everything in physics? In my opinion, yeah, humanology is it. Okay, and also have you heard like Plato wanted a philosopher to be the king? To me, yeah, I want to be that one. Okay, I'm not a king yet, so but I want to be that one. That's why I'm running. Okay, I know some philosophy. Okay, so humanology can be thought as my philosophy, whatever. I'm just starting it. You can be a humanologist, and you can continue. You can come up with your own, like many people already have. If you type humanology in YouTube, there'll be hundreds of people using the same term, humanology. They have their own, and uh, maybe they have some validity, and I don't know. Okay, probably you like those other people's humanology better because they get like hundreds or thousands of hits. My humanology zero. Nobody, nobody. Uh, I'm not asking you to subscribe or anything, but nobody's watching this. Okay, so it's just right now. It's just me. Anyway, yeah. So heaven and earth. Who are foes? Who are enemies? Uh, First of all, we'll do some dot product. Okay, so if you know physics and mathematics, dot product, the multiplication between two vectors. We'll do that here in humanology, and it's quite exciting. Okay, uh, we first need to define a vector. Okay, let's say it's property vector. Okay, property vector p1 equal, okay, criterion vector. Let's first define criterion vector. Uh, let's see your view on gayism and marijuanaism. Marijuanaism and what else? Tattoo piercism. How about that? Tattoo piercism. We are just looking at three of this, okay? Me personally, I'm anti-gay, alright? And also, I'm very strongly anti-gay. Okay. I'm not against gay people. I'm against gayism. I'm an anti-gayist. All right. I talk to gay people all the time because they are everywhere, right? And I'm very nice to them. I'm very polite and respectful to them. Because nobody's perfect. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not against people, but I'm against certain ideologies that they subscribe to. All right. To me, they are the reason that I exist. I'm here to exorcise them. I'm here to make them repent. That's how we Christians see ourselves. We have mission to save people. Okay, it's like we are doctors, spirit doctors, like voodoo, shaman, whatever. That's how Christians see out. Not every Christian, but it's not my, at least my interpretation of Bible. Okay. Yeah, we are here to change people, correct them, just like parents would or teachers correct their kids, their students. Same concept. So, um, P1 and there's P2. You, okay? P1 is me, P2 is you. I'm very strongly, let's do from negative 10 in the scale of negative 10 to plus 10, okay? Uh, I'm very strongly against gayism, so let's put this negative 7. Marijuana is I am against it, but not as strong as gayism. Tattoo piercism minus, which is worse? Marijuana and tattoo piercing, which is worse? Hard to tell you. They're both horrible things to me. Marijuana tattoo, which is worse? I, whatever. Let's give marijuana negative 3. I'm going to give this negative 5. Okay? Now, you happen to be even, you have to be against gayism somewhat. You happen to be, you don't care about marijuana, so you put 0. Tattoo piercism, you're for it. A little bit. Okay? Now, let's do the dot product. Property 1, property 2. So property, this is me. This is what this is who I am, okay? My political views, okay? It's my property, so to speak, okay? If you do the dot product is very easy. You multiply, then it is plus 7, right? And then you add up everything, okay? Plus, you multiply this to 0, then minus 5, you multiply this to, equals plus 2. So you and I are friends. We are not enemies, okay? So, on the other hand, we have, say, P3. This person is very, very pro-gay, very, very pro-marijuana, and very, very pro-tattoo and piercing. Oh, well. Slightly against tattoos and piercings. Now, that person and me, let's see if we are enemies or he and I are enemies or not. Negative 7749 plus 5 negative 3 minus 15 minus 1 and what? Minus 5 plus 5 equals negative 59. So yeah, he and I are bitter enemies. Okay. Now, so Jesus said, "Love your enemies," and I do. By political enemies, I mean people who there are people who disagree with me, and like sometimes I endorse candidates in the radio talk show, and I only endorse one person, one position, one political office, right? I cannot endorse everybody, right? Because I don't get to vote for everybody, right? But does that mean this person that I endorse, and does that mean the rest of the people that I did not endorse, are they my enemies? No, I love them all. They're awesome people. Just that I think this particular person that I endorse is the best candidate. Okay, and yeah. So you got the idea, right? It's just that enemy means it just means that person cause you displeasure, huge displeasure. But that does not mean you have to hate that person. Okay, so Jesus said, "Love your enemy," right? Yeah, you tolerate that person, right? When you see that person, yeah, oh, it's very uncomfortable and disgusting, right? But you still suck it up and tolerate and be nice to that person. That's what I do. I always do that. You know, treat them as human being with respect and yeah. So the whole point of any traditional religion like Islam or Christianity, Buddhism, Confucianism. How do you say it? I don't even know how to say it. It's about self discipline. It's about sucking up the pain to yourself. Okay, that's the whole point of any religion. And it's about self discipline. It's about taking the pain inside. Okay, rather than putting the pain to other people. So special copium is emotional energy. Okay, so your anger, all those your emotional pain like disappointment, and so that's what we call in humanology negative copium. All right, pain. Positive copium is pleasure. So if you're full of negative copium like bad feelings, then it shows in your face, on your face, in your attitude, like you slam the door or you just throw things or you break things. Okay, so negative copium. Have we talked about copium channel? um okay, we are going everywhere again. Okay, so yeah, this is friends and enemy. Okay, you got the idea. So let's just move on. Dot product. Yeah, we covered this. Okay, so I have to erase this. I only have very small board. But you got the idea. It's easy, easy idea. Copium channel. Let's talk about copium channel. Okay, channel. You have this channel, and there's water flowing within this channel. That's the concept of copium channel. Okay, and there's positive copium channel and negative copium channel. Okay, positive copium, negative copium. Okay, so positive copium channel is the channel where positive copium flows. Okay, negative, vice versa. So if you like this, like ooh, like this kind of like, I used to be an actor. Okay, so that's why I'm acting out, like like this kind of gesture. That's negative copium channel. If you have this anger and then this negative copium inside you flows, it goes out through that negative copium channel of this wincing and scowling like this, or this fist like swaying your fist in the air, like or breaking things, or like fighting, or all that stuff. Okay, that's negative copium channel. So copium channel can be thought as an action. You can call it copium action channel, or just action channel, or just action. Okay, why do we call it channel? Because it's an analogy of copium as a flow, as an energy or water flow. Okay, so positive copium channel like smiling. I smile, laughter. Oh, I'm so happy. Yay! That kind of like positive copium channel. Okay, just action that express, that vent out your positive feelings. Okay, so laughter, cry, you got the idea. Okay, uh, so when Jesus said love your enemy, basically you're internalizing, you're absorbing the negative copium, the pain. When somebody mistreats you, okay, Jesus said, oh, if somebody slaps you on your right cheek, then turn the left cheek. Okay, that's what Jesus said. It's very cool. It's something really cool. I mean, the teaching of Jesus. That's what I'm talking about. So, what that means is, if somebody is, let's say, oh yeah, recently I talked to one of the radio talk show that I am against tattoos and piercings. And in another TV radio talk show, I said I talked against this consumption of sugar and fat, obesity. Okay, so yeah, it would offend people, right? So that person, but they are very nice radio talk show hosts. They're super duper nice. They're gentlemen, and they always treat me with respect. But let's say I said it to somebody who's not such a gentleman, then what he would do is, let's say there's this person, let's call that person A. Okay, Mr. A. Let's call this person Mr. X. Okay, Mr. X. I think I'm telling you on your behalf. I think you should practice healthy diet and regular exercise, because otherwise you will get bigger and bigger, and then your bone cannot sustain your weight, and you start feeling this muscle pain, and also bone pain, and so you suffer a lot of pain in later in your life as you get old. And this person, Mr. X, got offended and punched him in the face like this. Okay, so what happened there? Let's talk about, explain that episode in terms of humanology. All right. So this Mr. X is a pro sugar fatist. He loves sugar. He loves fat, like pizza and cheese, fried food, and he loves sugar, like pie, ice cream, cake, chocolates, candies. Okay, so I am an anti-sugar fatist. Let's say P1. We're just looking at just one issue here. Sugar fatist. I am against it. -5. And this person, Mr. X, pro sugar fatist. And the feeling is multiplication of this. Okay? So by expressing my opinion again about sugar and fat consumption, I expressed it to this Mr. X. So it generates this negative feeling in him. Negative 25, that's a lot, right? That's the anger. But he's not, he has two choices. Does he contain and absorb that emotional pain, or does he just vent it out? So yeah, he can tell me, you SOB, you stupid Asian. You can say all those, you alcoholic, right? We'll talk a little bit about alcoholism because it's something very funny. I gotta tell you something funny episode about it. So, you cigarette smoking, you balding, you're losing your hair, and like you have these squinted eyes, you have this brown skin, and you smell like kimchi breath, you alcohol breath, you. Yeah, trying to be funny, okay. Yeah, he can do that, or he can punch me, or he can shoot me right here. He can shoot me right here, and he can kill me. Okay, that happens, right? Murder. A lot of murder happens because somebody's angry, and somebody made someone else angry. And yeah, then they can get killed. I can get killed too. I can get killed tomorrow. Okay, so how many enemies do I have now? Not that many because I'm not famous. Okay, but so in a way, the fact that nobody's watching this works out for me because I don't have that many enemies because nobody's watching. But if I'm very famous, if people watch this, then yeah, I start making real serious enemies. Okay, I can see that foresee that very easily because so yeah, yeah, that can happen, but whatever. I'm a man. I'm a fighter. As long as I'm alive, yeah, I do what I perceive, what I regard as a mission from God, mission that is assigned to me by God. Okay, yeah, it's because I'm Christian. All right. Anyway, so yeah, this negative feeling, I suck it up or I vent it out in a proper way, right? So what Jesus is telling us is, yeah, you have to absorb that pain. So, and I agree with him, of course. That's why I'm Christian. Yeah, I agree with what Jesus says. And so that's one of the virtues of alcohol because it has this neutralizing power, right? So let's say somebody tell me, "Oh, you are an alcoholic. You're horrible. You're ugly. You are balding. You can sing well. You cannot dance well." If somebody tell me all these things, I don't like fight back because I'm practicing Christian. Okay, I actually practice Christianity. So yeah, I suck it up. Okay, well, thank you for your thank you for your criticism. Maybe it's true. Maybe I should correct myself, and then I come home and I drink. Okay. So yeah, alcohol really helps. And okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about alcoholism. And I can easily foresee my political enemies. By the way, I love people whether they hate me or not because I appreciate their feedback. I do, and I'm not just saying this. I really love everybody. Okay, no matter who they are, no matter how much they hate me, I don't care. I love them. Uh, so alcoholism. Am I an alcoholic? Yes. Do I? Because I fit the contemporary definition of alcoholic. I drink every day. I don't just drink. I drink hard liquor every day, vodka, at night. Okay. And my counter argument is that definition is wrong. The contemporary definition of alcoholic is a wrong definition and it needs to be modified and changed. Okay, because drinking alcohol every day is not a bad thing. All right, according to Far East Asian tradition, all these Chinese saints or Korean or Japanese saints, ancient poets, ancient scholars, yeah, they drink alcohol every day. Okay, because so it's not a bad thing, uh, in my opinion. It just what's bad is uncontrolled drinking, like drink and drive, that kind of stuff, or drinking rage and then you become violent. Yeah, that's bad, of course. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about controlled drinking, proper drinking. That's one of the things that I will I want to introduce as the president in 2021 from Asia to America. Okay, there are so many things we can learn. We should learn from Asia, China, Korea, Japan, like healthy diet and exercise and martial arts and also this drinking culture. Okay, and also proper smoking culture. Smoking tobacco. Okay, uh, because if you know how to do it, then you don't need marijuana. You don't need tattoos or piercings. You don't need crimes. You don't need all this plastic surgery. Ooh, all that stuff. Okay, so I am not a special person. If I don't need drugs, then you don't need either. Okay, if I can live without drugs, if I can live without marijuana, so can you. All right. How am I able to do it? Because I drink alcohol and I like strong alcohol like vodka and I smoke cigarettes every day. Okay, then you don't need marijuana, you don't need tattoos, piercing, or any of that stuff. I'm nobody special. Okay, if I can do it, you can do it too. All right. Well, let's take a break. Okay. So I'm back, and thank you for still being here with me. And yeah, so what happened was, I'm kind of newbie in all this politics, right? There are people who've been doing this local politics for decades, and there are many political organizations, and I'm a member of many of them. Okay, and some there was one organization that I used to be a member of, but I got out. Uh, well, first of all, I'm just too busy. Okay, so I wasn't gonna. I didn't really wanted to attend all those meetings anyway. Anyway, so yeah, it was good for me that I got out. It it's a local political organization, so it's too local for me because I studied local. So they helped me a lot. I learned a lot. It's great organization, but I had to get out because it's too local. Okay, I'm going statewide now. My next step would be nationwide. I have to move very fast because I have to make this presidency in 2 years. Okay, 2.5 years. So yeah, it was about time that I need to get out, and so things happen for a reason, everything, and I think it was God's plan that I get out. So yeah, I got out. So I love them. They're great people. It's just that they don't like alcohol. They like, have zero tolerance alcohol policy. And I went to the meeting with alcohol breath because I had a long day. So I had a few drinks next door. Then I came. And so they smelled my alcohol and they gave me some harsh warning. And I said, well, the thing is, proper consumption of alcohol is one of my key platform agendas. It is. I wasn't lying. Okay, the proper drinking culture is very very important component of my political presidential platform. All right, and your organization is very very anti-alcohol, and I am very pro-alcohol. So we are not politically compatible. So yeah, thank you for everything, and but yeah, I will resign from your organization, and I will no longer be a member to your organization. And thank you for everything, and goodbye. So that's what happened. Okay, so um, Islam, Quran talks about alcohol. They are very against it, and but the way I interpret is this: they Quran talk about intoxication. All right, so to me, that's not the way I interpret Quran is this. It's not intoxication from alcohol, but it's intoxication of sexuality. Okay, so if I go to a political meeting, yeah, there are beautiful girls there, but I don't look at them. All right, unless I'm talking to them. When I talk to them, I look into their eyes. Do I look at them like sideways, like side vision? Yeah, of course. I'm not blind. Yeah, I do enjoy their beauty, and I want them to be beautiful. Okay, but I don't like stare at their butts or their thighs, their breasts. No, I don't do that. Not when I'm working. When I'm enjoying, like relaxing, I go to a cafe, Saturday afternoon. Then yeah, maybe, but I don't normally do that. Okay, because that's bad for discipline. Okay, and when I'm in a meeting or at work, never, because it kind of is like getting intoxicated with sexuality. That's how I interpret Quran. Okay, so alcohol to me that's not what Quran is talking about. What Prophet Muhammad it was talking about. Okay, that's my interpretation. Okay, so when I go to work, like work, like as a computer programmer, I don't. Of course, I don't drink and go there because I have to drive, and even if I don't have to drive, wouldn't do that because they don't tolerate alcohol breath at work. No, And like when I was in law school, yeah, mostly I don't drink and go to class. No, 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 because I have to concentrate, right? But when there is some exam review, like pre-exam review, yeah, yeah, I drank and I went to the review session because it wasn't that necessary review session anyways. So a professor got really mad about that. They see people, this anti-alcoholist, people who hate alcohol, they see alcohol breath as the utter expression of disrespect. But to me, it's not. So some people get that kind of bad impression from me. They think I'm disrespectful and arrogant. Oh, how dare you come to a meeting with alcohol breath? But I understand where they are coming from, but I didn't mean to disrespect them, and to me, that's not disrespectful at all. And maybe they think, oh, are you saying our meeting is so boring that you have to get drunk? Maybe. But when I watch a real nice movie that I really enjoy, I drink. Do I drink because that movie is boring? No, I drink in order to enjoy even more. So it could be a compliment. Your meeting is so exciting. I want to enjoy more. That's why I'm drinking. Sometimes I actually do that. All right, when I meet people, and not every political organization is anti-alcohol, but this particular one was very anti-alcohol. It was more of an exception than a norm, because most of the political organization that I subscribe to, they frequently meet in a restaurant that serve liquor, and I drink liquor when I go to those places, and it's acceptable, right? And that's correct, okay? Because when I drink and then I stop drinking and I eat. I drink water for 2 to 3 hours before I start driving, and I have breathalyzer in my car, all right? And so when I start driving, I'm like completely sober. Like if I do breathalyzer, it's like zero, not even 0.01, zero, okay? So because I know I learned how to drink from my father when I was 7. I had my first drink when I was 7. That's how Far East Asian culture in China, Korea, Japan. That's how it is. Okay, we learn drinking from our fathers, just like American fathers teach how to use gun to their son when they're very young, like 7, right? 10, right? Yeah, because you want to learn how to use a gun the right way from their caring fathers. Drinking same way in Asia, okay, Far East Asia. Why do I omit Taiwan? Because Taiwan approved gay marriage, and so I don't like Taiwan, right? That's why I just say China, Korea, and Japan. Okay, so yeah, that's just unacceptable to me. And so what else? What is there to say? We talked about Copium channel, and I don't really have much to say today. Yeah. Okay. So in the future, uh, if I become very successful, then I will start making enemies. Right now, I have no enemies because I'm not that important. Okay, I don't have that much power. But if I gain more and more power, if I manage to do that, then yeah, I will start having enemies, right? And they will pick on me like, oh, he's an alcoholic. Well, yeah, according to contemporary definition of alcoholic, yeah, but that definition is wrong. It needs to be modified, all right? Because I drink properly and in a very controlled way, and I think that's what everyone should do. Okay. Yeah, so that would be my response. And also, yeah, let's talk about Russia. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Russia. And so I will demonstrate to you why I'm 10,000 times smarter and better than Trump. Okay. So Russia, let's if I was Trump, here is how what I would say because oh people say oh conspiracy Russian conspiracy Russia influencing United States election presidential election. How I would respond to it. Okay, or I'm not Trump, so let's do some hypothetical. In 2020 November, presidential election, let's say I get elected, and let's say Russia influenced, and because Russia loved me, and I love Russia, and so Russia helped me get elected, and Russia influenced the election. Let's say that happened. That's what's going to happen in 2020. Here's how I would respond to my critics. Yeah, your criticism is valid. Okay, Russia influence this election? I think so. Yeah, okay, I would just admit that. Okay, but it's a bad thing that Russia influenced American politics? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, media has huge. American media has huge influence in election. Okay, like I love media. Don't get me wrong, but media hates Trump, and I'm gonna take advantage of that. Okay, so I'm gonna embrace media, anti-Trump media to me, because I'm running against Trump. Okay, so um, I will take advantage of this media's animosity against Trump, and I pull media towards me and get free advertisement because media using media as advertisement is totally free and is the most effective way to advertise yourself, and it's free. It doesn't cost you a penny. And actually, I learned that from Trump. That's what he wrote in one of his books. I read five of his books. Okay, it's great books, and yeah, I like him. It's just that I'm better than him. That's why I'm running against him because I can do better. Okay, and I cannot wait, and America cannot wait, and so media. Yeah, media influence heavily during the 2016 Trump and Hillary election. Yeah, they were pro Hillary and anti Trump, so they tried to manipulate the poll. How do you manipulate the poll? Well, it's biased. You know, a poll, there are what 300 million Americans, but they just cherry pick and do the polling. Okay, so yeah, it's very easily manipulable thing. This election polls. Okay, so yeah, that's what I think media did because big cities are liberal, rural they are very conservative. Why? I was wondering why, and I asked many people, and there are many theories, many reasons. In the big city, there are a lot of poor people. Why? Because they come to big cities because they are poor. All right, so they need some government assistance. That's liberalism, right? Big government, and yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is liberal big cities that they are liberal because there are more ethnic groups in big cities. Okay, like immigrants, they come to big cities. They don't go to some rural area. Okay, they go to big cities. Why? Because they are poor. Okay, immigrants are poor. That's why they came to America. If I was some rich Korean guy, do you think I would leave Korea and come to America? No. I have everything I need in Korea. So why did I come to America? Because I'm poor. I want to make money. Because I couldn't in Korea. So I thought maybe it's easier to make money in America. That's why I come. It's not my personal story. The reason I came to America was more like as a political refuge because Korea is a very monotonous, monolithic society. They don't allow that much diversity. It's good and bad. Okay, I'm a very very different kind of person. Okay, I'm like alien or I'm strange and weird, and that's why I don't get any girls. Okay, girls run away from me because I'm strange. So yeah, Korea, goods and bads. What are goods? Because they don't allow tattoos, gay marriage, transgender surgery, marijuana, piercing. They don't allow that in Korea. Okay, that's good. What's bad? They don't allow me. Me being weird. Oh, I'm gonna create this humanology that's gonna replace psychology. I'm gonna be the president in 2.5 years, and I'm nothing but a computer programmer in Alaska. That's crazy in Korea. In America, that's crazy too. But at least in America, they tolerate my strange thoughts. Okay, what's bad in America? They also tolerate gays, tattoos, piercing, marijuana. So America tolerate anything, either good deviation or bad deviation. They all tolerate deviation from the majoritarian norm. That's America. In Korea, they don't tolerate good deviation. They don't tolerate bad deviation. They don't tolerate any deviation at all. That's Korea. Okay. So yeah, it's good and bad, right? Uh, so Russia. Let's assume, yeah, Russia, influence somehow, and in my 2020 election, and I get elected. Okay, so media side with my political opponent. Then what I'm gonna have to say is this: yeah, hey, media, American media, yeah, you are manipulating American politics as well. So by cherry picking this poll population, you only poll in the city so that your poll result is more liberal. Okay. Yeah. So American media, you manipulate, you influence election as well, in a very dishonest way. And that's suddenly okay just because you're American. And if Russia influences an election, is 100% bad just because they are not American. They could be Russian influence could be good or it could be bad. But are you saying it's always bad because they are not American, and American media's influence on election is always good, always okay just because they are American? No, 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 no. That's not logical, rational thinking. American media's influence on politics could be good or it could be bad. Depends on how, the way they do it. Are they doing it in a fair way or honest way, or are they lying? Is American media lying to Americans? That's a lot worse. Why? Because you are betraying your own people. That's far worse than Russians lying to us. Because you, American media people, you are lying to your own people. That's far worse than Russian lying to us. Okay? So yeah, I can defeat those criticisms so easily and more effectively than Trump because I'm smarter. I'm just more well read. He's what, businessman, right? Was he a successful businessman? I don't think so. Here is why. He made zero money. Yeah, he's like billionaires, right? He has what, $10 billion, but he also lost $10 billion. When he lost it, he declared bankruptcy, and suddenly that debt is forgiven. Okay, so if you sum up the billions of dollars that he earned and he lost, it summed to zero. Okay, he declared bankruptcy many times, right? So when he lost billions of dollars, it's forgiven. Okay, and when he earned billions of dollars, he retained it. Okay, so then where does that $1 billion come from? From you, from us, everyone. Why? Because who are the creditors of who loaned money, business investment to Trump empire? It's our own savings, retirement savings and insurance. Because all this big money pool like retirement fund and what insurance fund or our saving account fund, they are the one by investment managers, financial managers, investment bankers. They invest into big companies like Trump empire. uh, it's that money that get invested, that get loaned out to people like Trump. All right. So when Trump lose money and declare bankruptcy, it's your money that's gone. Okay. So Trump's $10 billion is from you. Why? Because he lost $10 billion. He retained $10 billion. Okay. And the time when he lost $10 billion and he declared bankruptcy and he was forgiven, that was your money, my money, our money. Okay. So that's the power of this copium method, copiumology. Okay, we see things. We are simplifying things. We see things as a flow. Okay, this money is copium. Okay, general copium, generalized copium. So he got something and it's from us. Okay, because not every businessman declares bankruptcy. Only incompetent businessman declares bankruptcy. So look at Microsoft or Bill Gates or what, Berkshire Hathaway or something, or what's his name? Yeah, those prominent businessmen. They never declare bankruptcy, and they are richer than Trump. Why? Because they are competent businessmen. Okay, Trump is a very incompetent businessman. All right, that's why he had to declare bankruptcy because he wasn't good at it. All right. So yeah, but so he spent time most of time doing the business and sleeping with women, marrying three different women and all that stuff. I never did that, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to do business. I have many business ideas, and I'm gonna give it to you for free so that you do it because I don't want to do those things. Okay, I rather read a book. Okay, so yeah, I like learning new things. That's why I'm smarter, wiser than Trump, right? Because that's what I do. I think and I read, I learn, I talk to people. That's what I do. I don't do business. I don't date. I don't even date. I mean, I don't. I want to date girl. I want to have a girlfriend, but they don't want me. Um, I guess it's working for me somehow. Because I get smarter. Spend time learning things and it's curse and bless. Okay. What else? What else can we talk about? So I do want to keep doing this, okay, but somehow my brain is kind of blank right now. So today's what, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Like, what time is it? 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a long nap. Probably that's why my brain is totally blank. And so let us talk about uh, beauty, maybe. Yeah, let's talk about beauty and let's take a brief break and get back to it. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, let's talk about beauty, humanological ethics, ath- aesthetics. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Aesthetics, okay? The study of beauty. There's a maxim, proverb saying goes like, "What beauty is to the eyes of the beholder, the beauty is relative." Humanology's position is that proposition is false. Okay, because let's talk about there are different kinds of beauty. On or mature aged women of like 80 years old, yeah, they're very beautiful as they are. Because wrinkle is not ugly. Wrinkle is not an ugly thing. It's beautiful. To me, it is, and it should be to you as well. Okay, you should learn to appreciate this beauty of aged people. Okay, you should. I need you. I want you to feel. Learn to. I want you to learn to appreciate the beauty of old people because what we see is a very beautiful wisdom and experience on their face. That's wrinkles. Okay, it's maturity. Very beautiful. Very, and you should be able to perceive that. Okay, so that's one kind of beauty. Another kind is sexual beauty. That's totally objective. Women who are slender, young, yeah, they're sexually beautiful. Why? Because it's product of evolution. Okay, men perceive beauty, sexual beauty in sexual appeal in those kind of women. Slenderness means she's healthy, and that increases the chance of reproductive success. Okay, that's the sex appeal. All right. So yeah, it's totally evolutionary, totally biological. It's objective. It's scientific. Okay, that's sexual beauty. So and yeah, so beauty is objective. It's not subjective. It's not relative. It's absolute. All right. That's humanologist's position. Enough with that. And the discussion that comes with it is tattoos and piercing. Okay. Humanology does not condone tattoos and piercings of any kind. Okay, one piercing here for women. Yeah, that's a good thing. It's because it's traditional. Earring is very beautiful. All right, but anywhere else is not allowed in humanology. Tattoos of any kind is not allowed in humanology. All right. Why? Because beauty is not something subjective, but it's objective. It's not something relative, but it's something absolute. All right. Oh, it's just your opinion. It's your idea. You're crazy. So, yeah, well, so tattoos. The origin of tattoo is what Micronesia or something. The Pacific Islands. It's their tradition to tattoo. Okay, it's from Polynesia, right? Some Pacific Islands. Yeah, it's their tradition, long, like hundreds years or thousands years. But not every tradition is a good tradition. You know, in Korea, China, they eat dogs. You perceive it as a bad tradition, right? And in India, they don't eat cows, they don't eat ox, they don't eat beef. Some people will say that's a bad tradition. Okay, piercings come from Africa, right? They have piercings. They use. Maybe you've seen a picture. Like they have this stone, something. You just have a huge hole in the lower lip like this, or a huge tunnel, this hole right here. Okay, yeah, that's from Africa, right? It's long tradition. And human knowledge's position is they are bad traditions. Okay, because in Bible, in the Old Testament, if you're familiar with Bible, you know there is this term called abominable tradition of heathens and Gentiles. This abominable practice of Gentiles and heathens. Okay, so that's humanology's position. Tattoos and piercings, bad tradition of Gentiles and heathens. Okay, of foreign countries. All right. I love Africa. I love Pacific Islands. They have great things like their cuisine, their dance, their music. I heard it in the YouTube videos, and they're beautiful, beautiful dancing and beautiful music and musical instruments. And cuisine, their traditional recipes, or their traditional medicines and their traditional way of hunting and fishing, fantastic. Okay, but tattoos and piercings are bad. Says who? Oh, you're nobody. Well, so tattoos. Why are tattoos bad? It's this. It's addictive. It's a disease. It spreads. It's metaphysical pathogen. It's a harmful, unclean spirit. Why? Because so it starts here, right? Small patch on the shoulder, then it spreads downward, then it spreads upward. It's not gonna stop there. It'll come right here. People will start tattooing right here. 666. And many people actually tattoo their faces. More and more so. Unless we stop it, people will start tattooing their babies. Okay? You don't think that will happen? You think that's unlikely and improbable? 30 years ago, 3 decades ago in America, do you think people believed that one day there will be gay marriage? Do you think people believed American people in 80s, Americans in 1970s and 1980s, do you think they imagined a possibility of gay marriage and legalization of marijuana? And all this tattoo pandemic, piercing pandemic, do you think they ever imagined that? No. It was an unspeakable thing. 40 years ago in America, I'm not talking about Korea, I'm talking about America. 40 years ago, they would never imagined tattoos and piercing would be this common in America. It was an unspeakable, unimaginable thing. Gay marriage and legalization of marijuana, unimaginable thing. But it happened, and it continued to happen, and it's getting worse every day. Can Donald Trump stop it? No. He doesn't even see it as a problem. I do. That's why I'm running against him in 2020. Okay? Because if we don't stop this, tattoos and piercing, metaphysical disease, metaphysical pathogens, it will get worse, worse, and worse. And every single American will be covered with tattoos. Because it's only spreading. Okay? And nobody can stop it except me. I'm the only one who can stop it. Right? That's why I'm running for president in 2020. And because that's the working of this evil concepts, evil ideologies. Okay, it possesses you, and it paralyzes your rationality. Okay, why is our baby so beautiful? Because it's pure, spotless, innocent. Okay, the very first people who tattoo themselves in America were gangsters, criminals. And Americans started to worship criminals, dark things. They were fascinated by this world of crime and look at all the movies and TV shows. Yeah, it's about glorifying crimes, right? Criminals. They worship criminals. They romanticize criminals. When I was in law school, also outside law school, there were two occasions I witnessed this. There was this lawyer who used committed bank robbery. An ex bank robber became a lawyer, and suddenly he is a hero. Okay, just because he committed some felony. Okay, people treat criminals as heroes. Girls, they love what? What kind of boys do they love? Bad boys. Okay, girls love bad boys. That's one of the reasons why I never get a date because I'm not a bad boy. I don't want to be a bad boy just to get girls. No, I'm a nice guy. Okay, that's why I don't get any girls, and they think it's boring and oh, you are no fun. You are weak. All right, that's why you're so nice to everybody because you're weak. And so yeah, Americans started worship criminals, and they started to emulate and imitate criminals. That's why they began to tattoo themselves. That's how it all began. To look like criminals. Okay, to look dirty and to look monstrous. These piercings, to look badass, to look like, to look strong and tough and criminal. That's how piercing and tattoos began. And now, probably half of Americans are tattooed. Alright? And half of my friends are tattooed and pierced. Again, I don't hate anybody. I love everybody. Nobody's perfect. Who can agree 100%? Even twins don't agree 100%. Husband and wife, do they agree 100%? No. They disagree all the time. That's why husband and wife, they fight all the time. Any marriage is like that, right? So I disagree with my friend. Does that mean I would disconnect my friendship? No. I still love my friend. I love my friends whether they're tattooed or not. No. Because there are other qualities that I really like. Okay? And nobody's perfect. You don't have to agree on everything to be a friend. Okay? So, so why are tattoos bad? Because it looks dirty, unclean. Okay, in Bible we talk about unclean spirits. Tattoo and piercing unclean. Piercing is too easy, right? You have piercing everywhere. You cannot wash your face very well. That's piercing, and when you put on or take off your clothing, sometimes it catches. It's impractical and it look bad. Okay, so it's inconvenient and it's dirty. You have piercing here, collects this dirt between this hole of the piercing. You have piercing in your tongue here. It gets in the way when you eat something or when you kiss. You have piercing on your belly button. Yeah, it gets in the way when you have sex. You have piercing in your whatever genital organ. Yeah, it gets in the way. You can get injured. It's impractical. So yeah, that's too easy. Piercing. Why is piercing bad? Because it's stupid. Okay, it looks bad. It's stupid. It's inconvenient, dirty. So why is tattoo bad? Here, maybe many people do tattoos because it's permanent. Okay, and many times they regret because too permanent. You have your girlfriend's name right here, like John and Jill forever tattoo. What happens when you break up or divorce? And when you get a new girlfriend, you have your girlfriend see you naked and you have her name is Jane, and on you have Jill instead of Jane, what are you gonna do, man? You gonna tattoo it over, like you gonna blacken it, covering with black ink? Whatever, man. Stupid, okay? It's against human nature, okay? Because it is changeability is human nature. We change. You are not the same person 10 years ago. 10 years ago from now, you will not be the same person. The tattoo is something permanent. So you will not like what you tattooed here 10 years from now. When you are in love, it fools you, right? Your girlfriend is Jill. You're a man, okay? I'm not a sexist, but I'm a man, so that's why I talk man man centric way because it's easier for me. That's all. If I were a woman, then yeah, I would be female centric, and because it's just easier. Okay, so that's all. So yeah, you're a man, and your girlfriend name is Jill, and when you are in love with her, then yeah, you think I will be with her forever, so I will tattoo her name. But tomorrow, everything changes, just like this. Okay, that's why tattoo is something very stupid because you may think something would last forever. Your feelings about somebody, your feelings about something, but that can change. All right, the changeability of human personality and character, that's a human nature. We are constantly changing. But you have tattoo permanent here, then you are restricting yourself so that you don't change, and that's bad for you because you're going against your own nature, human nature. You have to change. Change is a good thing. Okay, you have to constantly improve yourself. That's what I do. Oh, but you're nothing but a computer programmer in Alaska making average salary, and you don't even have a girlfriend. You got no kids, no family. Oh, you're a loser. What an underachiever. And maybe I am. Okay, that's what my families and friends say sometimes, and I just laugh it off. Because to me, achievement is something more of an inner value. This development of my character, your character, and helping out people, or making a brand new science, learning to dance, learning new foreign languages. None of those things pay me. It doesn't give me promotion or doesn't give me a career, but that's how I define achievement and accomplishment and success. Okay, I made one movie called "A Therapy for Metaphobia." It's in YouTube. It's a feature-length movie, meaning it's more than 1 hour, 1 hour and 10 minutes, 70 minutes, and I watched it, and after everything is done and said and done, and then I liked it. Okay, when I was editing video, the footage, I did not like it, so I did some experimental editing, like cut and paste different parts and mixing it together. And the end product, I was satisfied, and I thanked God for this brand new thing, editing technique. He gave it to me. Okay, so nobody watches my movies. I didn't make a single penny off of that movie. Okay, but I was satisfied. I was happy, and it was an accomplishment. It doesn't make any money. It doesn't make me famous. It doesn't make me a Hollywood celebrity. But to me, that was an accomplishment because it's better than most of the Hollywood movies they make nowadays. Okay, in my opinion. So, yeah. So, okay, then why are you running for president? You are contradicting yourself. Maybe I am, but the reason I'm running again is not for my own self. It's about saving you, saving your kids, saving your grandkids, and because okay, we were talking about beauty, right? Let's talk about obesity. Okay, I 90% of my friends are obese because they are all Americans. Okay, yeah, they are all obese. Okay, but I love them. So yeah, it offend them that I talk about obesity because they are obese and their joints hurt, their knee, their back because they are too heavy. Why? Because in human history, this industrial revolution and agricultural revolution happened over what 200 years. So thanks to industrial revolution, we have machines. The only time we walk around or move is from our home to our car when we go to work, then from car to our office when we are at work. That's the only time when we walk. All the rest of the time we sit. At home we sit in the couch and we don't even walk to the television. We used to. I mean our parents and grandparents used to, but we invented remote control. So we don't even walk to the television anymore. Okay, like our parents and grandparents did. They went to turn on and off the TV and turn on the channel like this. I remember those days, okay, in the 1980s. Because I was born in 1970s. I was born in America, upstate New York, right? I grew up in Korea, but yeah, okay, so we sit all day, every day, and then at home, and then when we go to work, we walk to our car, and when we drive, we are also sitting again behind the wheels, and then we walk to our office, and then we sit again in front of a computer. Okay, so we are not active. We are not physically active. We just sit there all day, every day, except between couch and car and the office. That's the only time when we walk. So we are not consuming energy. That's industrial revolution, the result thereof. And even physical laborers, they don't do physical thing either. No, it's all machines. We have just bulldozers and cranes. They are sitting behind the wheels. They just move this, you know, all these machines. Okay, we don't even use the axe to chop down the tree. No, we have chainsaw now. So physical laborers, they don't exercise. They don't do physical labor anymore. Yeah, just when we used to have hammer to nail down something. Nowadays, nail gun. We don't even do this anymore. Okay, this hammering. No, we have nail gun. We just trigger. Okay, push the trigger. That's it. One finger instead of this whole arm action of hammering. Nail gun. Okay. So that's machine. It's human invention. The machines. It has spoiled us. Okay. And then there's agricultural revolution where we have too much food now. We have no shortage of food. We have too much food and they're cheap. So we eat more and we move less. That's why we have become obese. It's something very recent. 50 years ago, in American 60s, 70s, American 1950s, 60s, and 70s, Americans used to be very beautiful and fit and healthy. And guess what? They drank alcohol and they smoked cigarettes. American 1950s. Yeah, there's whiskey everywhere and there's smoking cigarettes everywhere, okay? and they were fit. They were not obese at all. American 1950s. We should go back to that. Okay, they did not smoke marijuana. They did not do tattoos and piercings. They did not do gay marriage or transgender bathroom or plastic surgery or whatnot. No. That America 50 years ago, America is Korea right now. Koreans smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol. They don't do piercing, they don't do tattoo, they don't do gay marriage. Korea's behind 50 years of America. Okay? Because it's a developing country. America's a developed country. I hope Korea doesn't become like America now in 50 years. Like tattoos everywhere, piercing everywhere, gay marriage, bisexual, transgender, marijuana. I hope that doesn't happen to Korea or China or Japan, but it may. All right, because they want to follow and emulate and imitate America, not just Korea, many countries, developing countries. That's why it's so important that we Americans we have to show a good example, and right now it's not showing a good example to the world. Okay, so again, that's why I'm running for president of United States. Oh, you go back to Korea. Why don't you go to Korea? Because you hate tattoos and piercings, and then go back to Korea. Well, I see myself as a spirit doctor, spirit doc, ghostbuster, exorcist. And if I'm a doctor, if I go to a country where there are no diseases, then I'll be bored. What is a doctor when there is no sick people? But Americans are sick. Okay. Americans are sick. That's why I'm here, all right? To heal them, to heal Americans. That's why I'm in America. If I go to Korea, there's nothing for me to do because everybody is healthy. I'll be bored. Why would I go to a country where there's no sick people? Yeah, so we all make mistakes, right? I made mistake. I was bicycling down the bike trail in Alaska in Anchorage. I used to live in Anchorage. Right now, I'm living outskirts of Anchorage. Uh, in Anchorage, yeah, there are a lot of biking trails, bicycle trails, and there was this tree root stump, this sticking out of this bike trail, and I fell because I know how to do bicycling without hands, like this. My hands off the handle. Yeah, I'm capable of doing that. Okay, I was doing that. Okay, downhill, and I fell and I broke my right clavicle right here. So I had a surgery, and I regret not being so careful when I was doing the bicycling, and I regret that. Okay, there are a few things I regret in my life that I would have done differently, and I would do differently, and it was stupid of me going downhill without my hands on the handles. It was stupid of me, and yeah, I fell and I broke it, and I had to pay for my stupidity, and yeah, so we all make mistakes, but the you have to learn from your mistake. First, you have to admit it was a mistake. I'm talking about obesity, tattoos, piercings, marijuana, gayism, transgenderism, whatever, plastic surgery. You have to admit it was a mistake, and so that you can correct yourself and you can be better than yourself yesterday. Right? That's the only way you can improve yourself to the higher level. You have to admit your mistake. You have to admit it was a mistake. Okay? Like sugar and fat. I love pizza, I love pies. Yeah, I want to eat them, but I don't. Okay? Why? Because I don't want to be heavy and it will be crushing down my knees, my back, my bones will start hurting, and I don't want that to happen to me. And also, I want to look sexy. I know I still don't get any girls, but still, I want to look attractive. That doesn't get me any girls, but still, I want to look as good as possible. How about that? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to have pop belly. Pop belly. I have a little bit of pop belly, just a little bit, but I suck it in so that it doesn't bulge out like a pregnant woman. I'm not a woman. Would I want to be look like a pregnant woman? No, I'm a man. I don't want to look like a pregnant woman. No. So yeah, I suck it in because I have this small intestine and large intestine, and due to gravity and the weight of these entrails, yeah, they come down, right? So it bulges like this, properly. So I suck it in so that it doesn't bulge out, okay? It's a conscious effort, all right? And I do weight training. I mean, I don't have huge muscle, but I have just some muscle, right? Yeah, I don't do too much because I don't have that kind of time. But yeah, I do muscle exercise at least every other day. I do running at least every other day. Okay, just around the block, and I eat healthy. Not always, but I try to. Okay, and so should you. Why? Because you have kids, you have grandkids. If you love your kids and grandkids, you want them to be better than you. If you love your children, you want your children to be better than you. You want them to be more successful and healthier and more beautiful. That's love, right? You love your kid, you want that kid of yours to be better than you, to be more beautiful and healthier than you. So if you love your children, don't just say it. Oh, I love my son, my daughter. Don't just say it. That's too cheap. That's easy. If you love your children, show it by action. Do something about it. Meaning, you be a good example to your children. Stop eating sugar and fat. Stop eating ice cream, pies, cakes, pizza, fried stuff. Stop eating it. Stop using oil and butter, margarine. Stop using that in your cooking. Use water instead. All right? And eat chicken breast and ground beef and get rid of all the fat. All right? It may not be as yummy, not as delicious and tasteful, but you have to sacrifice your pleasure of eating on behalf of your kids and your grandkids because they will learn from you. You have to be a good example to them. That's the only way your children will grow up to be healthy. They have to learn from you the healthy diet. Otherwise, they will inherit your bad habits, your mistakes, your indulgence. They will inherit them and they will be worse than you are. Okay? I need you to know this. It's so important. That's the future of America. Since 1990s, America has been going down and down and down. People have become more and more and more obese. There have been more and more marijuana. more and more and tattoos and more and more piercings and more gay marriages and more transgender surgeries, more and more plastic surgeries. Okay, America is going down. More and more debts, $20 trillion debt. Okay, so let's talk more about economics next. Okay, today's Saturday night, so it's been already 1 hour and 40 minutes, but I took a long nap, so I'm not sleepy and I'm bored. I'm all alone, and so we'll do some more today. Okay. Yeah, let's take a break. I'll be back. All right. Okay, before we talk about economics, let's talk more about obesity, pandemic, epidemic, this metaphysical pathogen that's dominating the West. Okay, I love the West. I'm an Eastern Asian, but far Eastern Asian. Okay, but I love the West. That's why I'm running for president of the United States and not in Korea. Okay, because Asia do not need a leader like me because they are doing just fine. But the West is going down, and I want to change all that course of self-destruction, mass suicide, metaphysical suicide. Okay, and yeah, it may happen, it may not happen. I don't know. I just do what I can. So I registered myself as a candidate for president of the United States in 2020. I'm already registered candidate. All right, it's official. Okay, so obesity. Yeah, industrial revolution, all the machines made it convenient for us so that we just move our finger and do the sit behind the wheels and machines do everything for us. So we became physically inactive, and in agricultural revolution made food abundant and cheap, and so we eat more and we move less. That's why we are obese, we are fat. So it happened over a couple of 100 years. That sounds like a long time, but it's not in terms of evolution. Evolution of a species occurs over tens of thousands of years, like hundreds of thousands of years. That's evolution of a species. It occurs very slowly. So our bone structure hasn't evolved to sustain the that weight increase that happened over decades or centuries. Industrial and agricultural revolution happened over a century. Evolution of Homo sapiens, human being as a species, occurred over hundreds of thousands of years. So our body structure can hasn't evolved, didn't have enough time to evolve to sustain this increased weight, obesity. That's why when you're heavy, when you're obese, your bones, your joints start hurting because haven't evolved to sustain that kind of weight in sudden, rapid, fast weight increase. It happened over a century, but evolution of a species occurs over hundreds of centuries, hundreds of thousands of years. Okay, that's why you get very, very. It gets painful when you are obese. Your bones cannot sustain it. But elephants and giraffes or bears, yeah, they are heavy, they are big, but their bone structure has evolved over a long period of time to sustain that heavy weight and height. Okay, but that's not us. That's not us humans. Okay, so that's the obesity, the history of obesity, the problem of obesity. So, lawmakers, President Trump, congressmen, senators, they try to tweak the Medicare, Medicaid system, medical insurance system, health insurance. They want to tweak the law, regulation. They will solve nothing. The solution is healthy diet and regular exercise. Then that's the only way. There's no other way. That will make people healthy, and they will drive down the medical cost and the health insurance premiums. Why? Because it's supply and demand, right? If there is huge demand, then the price will go up. It's like auction item, okay? That's economics. There's limited supply and huge demand, price will go up because people will bid higher and higher, like in an auction, like in eBay, okay? So people get sick. They eat. Americans eat like sugar and fat. They eat too much sugar, so they are diabetes. They eat too much fat, so they get obese and they have this pain in the knee, pain in the back. They get heart attack, heart problem, artery problem, clogging, and this aneurysm and stroke. Yeah, it's all from that, okay? Lack of exercise and too much sugar, too much fat. When you have oil on your hand, it's so hard, so difficult to wash it off. This fat on your hand. You have butter here, you have oil, olive oil, or margarine, or grease. Really hard to wash it off. You have to put soap in there. What happens when you eat it? Yeah, our body have some kind of soap in pancreas, but it's not that effective. If you eat too much fat, too much soap, no, not soap, too much oil, it will, it's very difficult to get rid of it. Once it gets in you, oil and fat and butter and margarine, it's not easy to wash it off, okay? So it starts to accumulate. It clogs the blood circulation and keeps piling up. You cannot do that to yourself. I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feeling, but I'm doing this for you. It's a tough love. There's soft love and tough love, right? It's a tough love. I'm doing this on behalf of you and your kids and your grandkids. Because too many people get sick because of sugar and fat. They go to hospitals and it drives up the cost. It's too many demands and limited supply of doctors and nurses. Demands are high, so it drives up the cost, the price. That's the higher medical cost and health insurance premium. Okay? Tweaking the law and regulation is not going to do anything. No, Americans are sick. They're too fat. Why? Because you are undisciplined. Why? Because agricultural and industrial revolution. Our life has become too easy because we have all these machines. So we Americans are like, we Westerners are like lazy heirs of hard-working parents. We inherited this wealth of technology from our parents and grandparents. They invented wonderful machines, computers, televisions, remote controls, cars, airplanes, and this agricultural products and delicious food. Our parents and grandparents worked very hard and they gave us for free all this wealth of technology. So we inherited, they bequeathed, we inherited this wealth of our parental and grandparental generation. That's why we are so spoiled. That's why we are weak. That's why there are so many gay people. Why? Because courtship is a very difficult thing to do. It takes patience. I know it firsthand because I try very hard to get a one date, and they don't like me. Girls, they hate me. They despise me. Okay, because I have no money, I have no fame or power. I'm nobody. I'm just a computer programmer in Alaska, and on top of that, I'm Asian male, and I'm weirdo, strange, this cuckoo, crazy guy. Oh, what presidency? Come on. So yeah, I get rejected. I get despised. Courtship is not easy. It's very difficult, but I can handle it because I'm disciplined. I have very tough teenagehood. My childhood was good, but my teenagehood was very stormy. And I grew up in Korea, all right, which is like 50 years back in America. I got physically disciplined as a child, as a teenager, in school and at home. It's like when I grew up, it was 1980s, 1990s. It was like 1940s and 1930s in America, where children got physically disciplined, like with this pedal in the principal's office in school, and they got beaten in at home too when they did something wrong, like spanking. Okay, I got the same thing in Korea in 1980s because Korea is like 50 years behind America. Okay, so now if we compare Korea now and America now, Korea now they smoke cigarettes and they drink alcohol. America now here, what they do instead, they don't drink alcohol, they don't smoke cigarettes. Instead, America now what they do is sugar and fat. They eat sugar and fat. So it's you have two choices. Are you gonna smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol, or are you gonna eat sugar and fat? So let's compare Korea and America. Koreans are fitter, they are leaner, they are thinner, and they are healthier, and they live longer. Okay? With all these cigarettes and alcohol, Koreans are thinner, they are healthier, they are more beautiful, they are healthier, they live longer. That's Koreans. Americans, they don't smoke, they don't drink alcohol, but they do eat sugar and fat. They are unhealthy, they don't live as long, and they are fat and they look bad. Okay, so what's the conclusion from this? I give you 10 seconds or something. What's the conclusion? Be rational, be reasonable, be logical. Don't be emotional, don't be self justifying or self defensive. Just be irrational. Don't be irrational, be rational. Okay, so yeah, the conclusion is tobacco and alcohol is better. Better. Not bitter, better than sugar. It may be bitter, okay? Yeah, it is bitter, but it's better. Tobacco and alcohol is better than sugar and fat. Sugar and fat is worse than tobacco and alcohol. That's why Americans are fatter and unhealthier than Koreans. Okay? So, yeah, that's the conclusion, logical conclusion. It's the evidence. It is backed and supported by facts, evidence. It's science. Okay, I'm being objective here. So, yeah, that's one of the key components of my presidential platform. Americans, unless you are pregnant or you have some medical issues, you should drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes every day. Okay? Everyone in America should do that. I mean, if you are over 21 and if you're not pregnant, if you don't have medical issues, then yeah, smoke cigarettes and drink alcohol every day. And don't do piercing, don't do tattoos, don't do gay stuff, don't do LGBT stuff. Don't LGBT blah blah blah. They have this alphabetical soup, right? Ah, bullshit. Okay. Okay. Don't do plastic surgery. Don't tan your skin. I don't like tanning skin because there's a body artificial body modification just like. And if you're a woman on over 50, then yeah, you do muscle exercise because if you don't do muscle exercise and you're a woman over 50 years old, you start losing muscle weight and bone weight. That's not good. You have to do weight training to maintain your muscle weight and bone density. Okay, but if you are a young woman, then don't make any muscle because that doesn't look good on you. If you are a young woman, you do not do muscle exercise. You do cardio. You do swimming, dancing, martial arts, running, that stuff. Yeah, do that. But don't do heavy weightlifting if you are a young woman. That does not look good on you. Okay? It's it's been more than 2 hours, and I think we talked enough. Don't you think? I mean, I talked enough, but and yeah, nobody's watching this, but I want to thank you anyway. Maybe nobody will ever watch this, ever, and maybe YouTube will get rid of this footage after I die. I may die tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. You know, hiking. When I do go hiking, yeah, I have bear spray, and when I drive very safe. But I may die tonight if God doesn't like me. He can stop my heart. Okay. God can kill me at any time, okay? So because everything in the universe is God's possession. God created everything in the universe, both good and bad. It's in the Old Testament. Isaiah. Uh, God created good and evil, everything. All these bad ideologies like gayism, tattoo piercism, marijuanaism, God created all of it. Okay, so sometimes I'm very angry at God. Okay, let's talk about this, okay, after a break. Me and God, what's the relationship? It's a complex one. Okay, I'm back. So what's the relationship between me and God? I thank Him for giving me this opportunity to record and leave something behind. 'Cause I may die tomorrow. Okay, I do everything to survive. I'm a survivalist. I'm not a suicidalist. I'm not a deathist. I'm a survivalist and lifeist. We'll talk about abortion later on, okay? So, yeah, God, I thank Him for giving me this opportunity to share this with you, leave something behind me, and I'm mortal. If it, would it be good if I live forever? When I was young, in my 20s, yeah, I thought I want to live forever, young, but I'm aging, I'm losing my hair, my back, my knee, yeah, they hurt sometimes. My back of my neck, oh, it hurts sometimes because I'm 40, when you age, yeah, your body starts aching, and also I'm single for a very long time, and my life is not that fun. Okay, so I don't get to eat pizza, I don't get to eat pies. I love them, okay, but I'm not eating them. So in my life, there is not that much fun things. I don't get to have sex. I don't get to eat pizza. So I do have my own fun time when I dance, when I sing. I'm not saying I'm a good dancer or singer. I love dancing and singing. Okay, whether it's good or not. Okay, and I drink. Yeah, I enjoy, and I talk like this monologue. Uh, but I enjoy doing it. Okay, so I thank God for that. Okay. Also, God gave me wisdom, and He gave me good family, good friends, and yeah, I thank God for those things, everything, and that He gave me. He disciplined me. He gave me pain. I thank Him for that. It made me strong and disciplined. The pain in life, yeah, adversity, all those rejections, yeah, it made me strong, and I thank Him for that. I thank Him for everything. I thank Him for giving me enemies, friends, foes, everyone. I thank Him for Jesus and Buddhism, Buddha, Muhammad, Confucius, Socrates. Yeah, I thank Him for everyone, everything. Okay, but there are times when I really am angry at God. I understand. I think we covered this before. Why did God create evil? Snake, Satan, devil. Why did God create that? Created that? Yeah, we talked about this. I think cinematic way of interpretation of Bible. When you watch a movie, if there is no villain, if there is no misery, it's boring and bland. So God is using us like like pawns, chessboard, or like a toy. Okay, so that's why God created this Satan, evil, murder, theft, rape. God created all those evil in order to enjoy human history, just like a movie. So He's making fun of us, He's making use of us. Sometimes that really made me angry. Come on, man. Just to have fun, you created all this evil and make us suffer. That's selfish. So, we talked about anti-ultra interracialism. Okay, let me write it again. We got this, so I'm gonna erase. Okay. we covered this before. I remember anti, ultra, inter, racialism. Anti, ultra, interracialism. It's to put it simple. Simply put, ethnic guys like me marrying a beautiful, slender, young, blonde, and or red hair, or blue eyes, or green eyes with the pouty lips like this nose, like pointy nose like this, and this feminine chin, and this slender neckline, and natural breasts, and slender arm, and long legs, white skin, pink skin, orange skin, or pale white skin, whatever. Okay, I'm marrying that girl, and our children have brown eyes, brown skin, and black hair, just like I am. So that I'm extinguishing white race. Why? Because I want to have sex with a white woman every day. Every night for what, 3 decades. So I marry her when she's 20, and I have sex with her until she's 50. From then on, yeah, she doesn't want to have sex anymore because menopause. Yeah, women don't want to have sex after that. Okay, so because it hurts to have sex. Post menopause, yeah, women don't want to have sex after that. Okay, so um, just my own sex to satisfy my sexual lust, my sexual greed. I'm getting rid of this white gene. So I marry a blonde, blue-eyed, white woman, and she's slender, and she's beautiful, and she's young, and we marry, and we have kids, and they are not blonde, they are not blue-eyed. My ethnic gene overrides the white gene, so I'm extinguishing the white race. It's a micro genocide for a very selfish reason, the pleasure of sex. That's why anti-ultra interracialism is one of the key rule in humanology. Ultra interracialism, an ethnic man marrying a slender, beautiful white girl, young white girl, fertile white girl, that's the biggest sin, one of the biggest sins. Ultra interracialism, one of the biggest sins in humanology, okay? Because you are being selfish. And white race is a very beautiful race. They're blonde, that's only white race. Asians, Arabs, Africans, Hispanics, we don't have blonde hair. We don't have red hair. We don't have green eyes. We don't have blue eyes. So white race, in a way, is sapphire, ruby, gold, emerald of humanity. They are just beautiful. Okay? Am I a white supremacist? Sure. I'm also a black supremacist. I'm an Asian supremacist. I'm an Arab supremacist. I'm a Hispanic supremacist. Why? Because I believe in supremacy of every single race. Because I believe God is fair, and every race have its own talent, different set of talents. Blacks are good at athletics, sports, dancing, and music. Look at Michael Jackson, or all those modern music called genres like hip hop, soul, rhythm and blues, jazz. blues, they were invented by African Americans. Oh, don't call it African Americans. It's Black Americans because some of them came from Virgin Island. Look, ancestors of black people in Virgin Islands, they came from Africa. So if you are black, your ancestry is from Africa. You may have come from like Puerto Rico and then America, or Virgin Island then America, but ancestry goes back in Africa. So yeah, you're African American, okay? So yeah, white people when they dance, yeah, kind of look awkward. They are not natural dancers. I'm not a natural dancer, but African Americans, yeah, they are natural dancers. Okay, it's in their gene, I think, and they are good. Nobody can defeat them in sports, in basketball, football. Yeah, it's African Americans. So boxing, nobody can defeat them. Okay, African Americans are talented in sports, music, and dancing. Okay, very very great gift on earth. That's the supremacy of Africans. Okay, it's God's gift to humanity. All right. White people, yeah, their talent, their gift is their visual appeal. They have blonde, they have red hair, blue eyes, green eyes, pink skin, white skin, and orange skin. Nowhere on earth except on the white race. We can see it. Asians, Africans, Hispanics, Arabs, we don't have that. We are all browns. We have brown eyes, Asians, Africans, and Hispanics and Arabs. We all have brown eyes. We have brown hair and we have brown skin. We are all browns, ethnics, okay? It's not quite black, it's just dark brown. Nobody's black. It's dark brown or light brown, whatever. We are all browns. So, I want you to start appreciating other races outside your own race. Immigration pattern. Where do people immigrate into? Europe, United States, and Canada, where there are white people. White people don't immigrate to Africa or Asia or South America. No. Immigration pattern is from ethnics to white majority countries like United States, Canada, Australia, and Europe. Ethnics come to white people. That's the immigration pattern. That's the fact. That's the truth. It's the statistical data. Why? Because we ethnics, we love white people because they are beautiful, because they are different from us. They have blue eyes, green eyes, blonde hair and red hair, white skin that we don't have. That's why we love white people. Okay? And I want you to be rational and not emotional. I learned this from the TV show 24. Do not let emotion control you. You control the emotion. Don't let emotion control you. No, you control your emotion. Be rational. I'm not white. Okay, so I'm not a racist. I love every race. That's why I'm in America. I love blacks, Arabs, Hispanics, whites, Asians. That's why I'm in America. Because I love this racial diversity. And that's why I'm telling you. Beautiful, young, slender, pretty, fertile women should only marry white men to preserve that white beauty gene because everybody love blondes. Everybody, no matter what race you are, because it's so beautiful. Blonde, gold, honey. What's the commonality? What do those three things have in common? I give you uh, 10 seconds. You got it? Okay. Blonde, gold, honey. They're kind of yellowish, right? And they are rare, scarce, and they are beautiful. They're sweet in our eyes. Why? Because it kind of look like sunshine. If you look at the sun, what color is it? It's kind of white. It's kind of yellowish. Okay. Yeah. So gold, honey, blonde. They are rare. We don't see that very often, and they are beautiful. They're sweet. That's why back in the days when in 200 AD, when the Roman Empire was dominating the Western world, back then white people were like savages, barbarians, Northern Europe. Okay, the center of the world was Italy, Middle Eastern. Okay, because Italians, they are not exactly white. They're half white, half Arabs, half Middle Eastern. They have brown skin, brown eyes, black hair. Okay, they're browns, Italians. All right. Because it's a continuum, it's spectrum. Okay, the people who went up north, yeah, they're white. They have blue eyes, they have blonde hair. So back in the days, in like 200 AD, Roman Empire, yeah, they had the slaves of northern European women with blonde hair, blue eyes. Yeah, they were the highest priced item. In Ottoman Empire, in Turkey today, yeah, they have a lot of blonde, blue-eyed sex slaves from northern Europe. Okay, and not only that, they had traded blonde hair, like a wig. It was a high-priced item back in the days, 200 AD, 500 AD. Blonde hair when northern Europeans were savages and Vandals and Vikings and Visigoths. Yeah, they were savages, barbarians with axe and stuff. Even back then, when white people were not on top of the food chain, when white people were savages, still back then, the blonde hair, the blonde wig, were very highly priced item in Rome, in Ottoman Empire. They loved blonde hair. Okay? So it's not something subjective, no, it's something absolute. It's something objective. It's not relative, but no, it's absolute. Blonde hair is very beautiful. Across culture, that's why Hollywood movies were so successful. Because back in the days, not nowadays. Nowadays, Hollywood is garbage, okay? But back in the day, because Hollywood is dominated by this gayism and marijuanaism and tattoo piercism. That's today's Hollywood. It's garbage. Well, back in the days, on American 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, yeah, it's all white people with blue eyes, blonde hair, red hair, and green eyes, and white skin, pink skin. It has universal appeal, visual appeal. Ethnic people, like me or some of you, we love blonde hair. We love red hair, blue eyes, green eyes, white skin, pink skin, orange skin. It's so beautiful because we are not like that. It's something different from us. It's something new. Yeah, so we love white people, okay? That's why we, including me, came to America or Europe or Australia or Canada because we love white people. Okay, so let's preserve and protect white race. Okay, that's why I don't date young white girls. I only date mature white women with kids and grandkids over 45 years old. Okay, because I want white, young, slender, beautiful, fertile women to marry white men and preserve blonde hair and red hair, blue eyes, green eyes, and white skin, pink skin, orange skin. I want that to be preserved. All right? I'm not a selfish person. Yeah, I want to have sex with those girls, but no, I want them preserved because I love the white race. Okay? So it's 2:30 and let's take a break. Okay, I'm back, and let's change some plan. Let's call it a day because I'm losing my voice, and I need my voice. Okay, because if you are on campaign, there's no there's no day off. Okay, today is Sunday, 3 o'clock in the morning, and yesterday was Saturday, and I worked politics. Okay, and tomorrow today Sunday, yeah, I do politics more. I need my voice. Okay, so let's call it a day. Okay, okay. Thank you and goodbye. Good night. Bye.